Joel, you've been through this a bunch of times. We probably weren't surprised, were you?
It's one of those things where you try and do your best on the field and do what you can. You never want to see a coach get fired. Like, that's his livelihood. That's his job. And you're going to lose a bunch of other coaches in the process. Management thought it was best to move in a new direction, and I think the goal for the team is how are we going to win more games next year, and that's all it is to it. From a player's perspective, from a new coach's perspective, from a team perspective, what can we do to win more games? And it's one of the things when you're not playing well, stuff like that happens.
Joel, there was a perception that Freddie was in over his head. How would you respond to that?
I thought Freddie did the best job he could. I thought he came into a situation with a lot of talent, a lot of guys, but it was his first job as a head coach in the NFL, and it's anybody's first job. There's learning curves, obviously, but I thought Freddie put himself in a good position each week to give us a chance to win. I think everybody in the organization has to take a step, look at themselves in the mirror and be like, what can I do personally to be better? And it comes from each player, from each person, in any part of the building that's with the football organization. We got to look at ourselves and try and improve ourselves.
Joel, are you? Sorry, what is it? Are you almost numb to stuff like this?
No. I mean, you have these relationships with these people. You care about people. It's a business, but it's a people business too. Every player that comes through here that you have been a part of, you know that there's a chance someone, you never play with those guys again. Some of these coaches, have been great coaches, great mentors to me, and they're not going to be here anymore. So it's one of those things where you look at it and you put yourself in their shoes and their families and stuff, and it's tough, man. They're out of a job. I know it's easy for a lot of people to be like, oh, he's fired or something, but it's a tough situation. You never want to see that happen.
Joel, is this a difficult job? Like in the NFL, is Cleveland just a tough job?
I think it's one of 32 NFL coaching jobs. So if you think coaching the NFL is tough, then yeah, it's a tough job. Have we had a winning tradition here? No. We've lost since we've been back, and we have to turn it around. We have to find a way. But I think it's an NFL coaching job, and if you get the right people in the right spots, you have a chance to win here. There's nothing, cursed about the city or anything like that. Like, you put the right guys on the field, you put the right coaching staff in, you have all the people working to the same goal, and you're going to win games.
What's the best? What are the best attributes that a leader should have?
Yeah, I think they have to have a strong plan and a strong belief in themselves, because that carries down, from everywhere. If they have their plan set in place and they can make those decisions and have, every decision they make understand that it's helping the team out in the long run, I think that's one. I think they have to be good in front of the team, good in front of people, and, motivator of men. I think at this point in your career, you should be motivated to, do your best all the time. And, that's one of the things that I've seen in the NFL is like guys should be self-motivated to be their best, but if you can have a coach that can bring all that together and put the best team on the field, I think that's a good way to start.
Do you think it's important, since you guys have all this talent, you're kind of ready to win now, do you think it's important to get a coach who has had coaching experience?
I just want the right coach. I don't know what that's going to be. I just want the right coach to lead us.
Hey, Joel, obviously you've had one change already. Who knows how many right staff changes or whatever. Does that affect how you feel about the jump that you guys can make next season?
No. I think you see it all the time. I think you see the Packers. They brought in a brand new coach and a brand new staff. I think they got pretty much rid of everybody, and they are second place in the NFC right now, 13-3. So I think if you find the right pieces, you're fine. Obviously, I think Coach Camby, Coach Blasco, and a lot of the other coaches have done a really good job. It's tough when you get a new coach. They're going to want to bring in their own staff, but you have guys that I think are good NFL coaches and have put in a lot of work. So we'll see what happens. But I think if you get the right staff, it's all about the right staff and what we can do to win as many games as possible.
What about sparking the offense? What would you like to see when the coach doing that?
Yeah. Obviously I think we have pieces, and you saw flashes of things that we could do. But we gotta find a system that we're we're well suited for. You know, we turned the ball over too many times. We had too many negative plays, weren't consistent enough, and that's also on the players. We have to go out there and execute, you know, and do our job.
How alarming was yesterday from the standpoint from your position, pass protect? They were bringing 6 enough to be in Mayfield's face right away, and it was just a really, really tough day for him to have any time. But how alarming was that?
I mean, we knew they junked it up. You know, we knew they blitzed a lot, and they blitzed the house quite a few times. You know, I think when they knew we had to pass the ball, they were really bringing their guys, and you know, Mayfield, he took a few hits yesterday and stuff you never want to see your quarterback take. He got sacked too much. It just wasn't a good finish to the season.
Baker talked about the improvements that he's going to need to make, especially talked about the interception. Do you feel like this season for him, the struggles, maybe humbled him a little bit?
I think he has the same personality all the time. You know, I don't know if there's a time when he needs to be, you know, humble or not, but I do think he's going to come out this offseason and really try and prove a point, and that's been his mantra, right? You know, he walked on, he had a transfer, he did all these things. He's always trying to prove something wrong, and if that could be a chip on his shoulder, you know, I don't know what he's thinking, but I know that he's going to try and improve the best he can. He's going to put in the work this offseason, like each and every one of us should.
Odell said yesterday that, you know, 2020 is going to be big for him, and he and Jarvis have big plans. Do you leave here with any, you know, kind of optimism about like Baker and all those guys they're going to be kind of driven, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, guys should be motivated, you know, regardless of what game, what year, what season it is. You know, I think you only have so many opportunities here to play the game you love and have so many chances. So hopefully guys are motivated on, you know, a daily basis. But you see flashes, you know what I mean? Like yesterday, Odell's catch in the end zone, that's why the guy's one of the best receivers in the game. I mean, other guys just don't do that stuff. Jarvis's long touchdown, like those are things that, I mean, Baker threw, I mean, we only had 12 completions, but I think Baker threw for, you know, a bunch of yards. Like, those are things that you want to see in the offense, big sparks, big plays. And those guys have all the potential, and hopefully, you know, it comes together and we become more consistent as a group and really can start to flash next year.
Joel, obviously the coaching changes. You might lose James Camp, your offensive line coach, and a lot of people were really excited when he came here as a great offensive line coach. Obviously, you'd like to see him stay, but how big of a loss would it be if he did move on?
Oh, it's big. I mean, I've had a few line coaches, you know, and he's done a great job. Him and Jeff Blasco are two of the best in the business, honestly. And I've been around a few, and they do a great job of getting us ready to play. You know, was it perfect this year from an execution point? No. But I thought you saw it with a lot of the run schemes and the way Nick and Kareem handled the ball. Like, the running game looked really solid, you know, and they had some good plans. They're two of the smartest guys. They pour over film. Blasco watches more film than any person I've ever been around. And those two guys work their tails off, like a lot of the other coaches. But I appreciate what they've done for me, and hopefully I have a chance to work with them again in the future.
What's your confidence level in Baker going into year 3?
Oh, I'm confident in him. I don't think his confidence ever wavers. Picks, sacks, anything. He's a guy, and he has all the heart. You saw it yesterday, the way he was running the ball, the way he was trying to make plays. Some guys might have tapped out in those situations, but Baker comes to play, and you know, the 2 years I've known him, I know he's going to come back from this and be better from it. I think in a few years we're going to be like, man, that was just an off year, you know, and he's going to come out and be one of those, you know, elite guys.
You got to be bummed for Chubb. I mean, he wanted it for you guys.
Oh, we wanted it for him. That was, we had just landed, and, you know, we obviously we only had 13 rushes for 50 yards or whatever, and last 2 weeks we hadn't really done enough on the ground to secure it, and you knew Tennessee was going after it. They fed Henry the ball 35 touches or something like that. Hopefully he's okay for the playoff game, you know. They were really feeding him the ball there. But that 53-yard, I mean, he's a great runner too, though. You know, I mean, you know, he got the award. Obviously, I'm heartbroken for Chubb. You know, I wish we could have done more. You think about all the plays where it's like, oh, my guy made a tackle there or something. You know, you want to get it, but I know he'll come back even better next year. There's no doubt about that.
Joel, there's obviously been a lot of turnover since the Haslams took over. Obviously, you've seen a lot of it since you got here. How do you as a player kind of view that?
What was the last part?
How do you as a player kind of view all that turnover?
Yeah, it's, you know, people talk about consistency and they talk about, you know, you want to keep the same staff in place and stuff, but you want to make sure it's the right staff, right? You know, you don't want to just keep dragging things along. And turnover's tough, you know, you get comfortable with things, but sometimes it's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable, you know, and as a player, you know, you see what's happening. You know, it's kind of out of our control now. You know, you did your part, and now you see who they bring in and what's going to happen, and you kind of go from there. But it's part of the NFL. You know, if you don't win, people get rid of coaches. Like it's an unfortunate part of the business, and you got to produce results.